All right. So what were you saying?
I don't even remember.
We were talking about SME being a SME.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but even then, like you have to, be clear about, these are my working hours, or if you want to talk to me, let's set up a meeting so that way, because people will constantly come in
Yes.
and interrupt. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And I get like the individual person doesn't understand because all they know is I'm just one person. I'm just coming to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't understand is that for you, you're just one person. For
Mm-hmm.
me, you may be the fifth, sixth, 10th person.
Absolutely.
You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Right. You may not have all came at the same time,
Yes.
but you may be the 10th person that talked to me this morning, and it's only 10:30.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and I still have, my primary duty is to execute.
Yes.
So being clear about, hey, this is what, if let's do a meeting if you want to talk to me, or let it really be a quick question like that.
Yes. And not an hour, 30 minutes or
Right.
whatever. Or it could be things that you need to know. I know, like in the past week for me, it's been people are calling me constantly, asking me things that they should know. And it's just like, are you calling me to talk to me? Are you
Mm,
calling me to hang me up to reassure you that you're doing your job correctly? And you're interrupting what I need to do.
right.
So, sometimes a lot of times I let them talk and get it out, whether they're arguing with the project manager or they need the budget met or time constraints, whatever, I just let them do what they do at this point. And then, go on about my day.
Yeah, it depends for me. Um I may continue to do work while you sitting there talking.
Yeah.
And I'll pick up on every word, like, or I may come off you just need a vent. All right,
Mm-hmm.
you sit down, you can vent. I'm just gonna keep working, but
Yes.
I'm listening.
What
And
you
you
say
go
you
ahead.
listen.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm just gonna keep, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening. And I'll just let you go. You can go ahead and talk, talk, and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still executing whatever I need to execute. And then
Yeah.
when you get done, you be like, all right, cool. I'll catch up with you later.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm like, hey, you want? How about we go to lunch? And
Yes.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we can talk then, and you can vent, and
Yes.
because I sometimes I need it. I'm like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
let's go to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I need a vent.
I definitely have appreciated my coworkers that I have had in the past where we could go to lunch, because a
Mm,
lot of times I couldn't go to lunch. Some of the times I had to go, by myself. But I made an effort to go outside as well for lunch and not just sit there when I was at the workplace.
mm,
Because you find yourself even now at home working from home, you find yourself not even taking a lunch break. And it's just like, hold on, wait a minute. I
yeah.
work 10 hours straight. No,
Mhm.
no, I'm supposed to work 9. So I found myself in the last, like, 3 weeks. I haven't even put the time on my timesheet.
Mm.
And I'm steady working over, but like I said, sometimes I don't even worry about it. As long as, like I said, I get the job done. I know when I need to put in work,
Mm.
extra work to get the jobs done. So, sometimes you have to do that as well. And sometimes I know in the past, some of my coworkers were not even willing to do the 8 out of 9 hours or 7 out of 9 hours. And
Mm.
you're expecting to, at the end of the year, to get this raise. And I think people need to understand that too. When they come to you and they say, hey, in this pandemic, hey, we don't have the money to give you a raise. Then what? You've been waiting on this dollar for a whole year, possibly, or 50 cents. So you're willing to sacrifice waiting for your 50 cents or a dollar for them to tell you no, and you're not willing to take the risk to be an entrepreneur? I think you might want to take the risk of being an entrepreneur and making more money in that lane than to wait for them to possibly give you your 25, 50, or $1 raise.
Or if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, just create passive income, to offset,
What you
those,
want to do in life.
creating passive income. There's nothing wrong with continuing to work as long as and having passive income.
Yes.
Whatever that means. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I'm all for it because everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody doesn't want to run a business, and if that's not you, then cool. But still have, streams of income passively where you don't really have to do anything, whether that's investing, whether it is doing some type of side hustle where you're just, money is working for you and you're not working for money. You know what I mean?
I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago and they said their mate, they're close to retirement, and they said similar to what Doug Depp said. And they said, well, she only has $100,000 saved for retirement. She's getting ready to retire possibly in the next 3 to 5 years. That's all she has. So he was saying, that's not enough for me. Like, we bought this house and I want to buy a bigger house. She doesn't want to. And now I'm at the point where I want a bigger house because I work hard for it. And she's saying, no, that's not what I want. I have my 100,000 that I saved and I'm good with it. So you come to the railroad of you want more or you want to stay where you are. Yeah. And I think that's a prime example. You have to know what you want out of life. And if you're on the path of you wanting more money, I think you have to know why you want more money, but also be able to manage more money. Then when you get with people that may not be on the same mindset as you, I think it's for some reason it's easier to walk away from people when they don't have the same mindset as you. You're willing to drop them off on the side of the road. So wait. I'm just saying what was told to me. I'm just saying. Okay. So it's just like, I guess you can have it both ways of life. Now, me, myself, my retirement goal is right now not less than 100,000. That's not enough for me. Like I want to, like Wallow said, I want to be on the beach somewhere every chance I get, and that's where I am. Now, do I want to relocate to Florida? Probably not. But do I want to go down there from time to time? I probably would. So now I have to put in the front end work right now to put more money into my 401k now so that I can have that later. And it is what it is. I think I'm hearing Firefly. Pretty sure of it.
Yeah, I was talking to Mom about that. She said it was coming this weekend. I was like, oh, they still doing it?
Yeah, they got Lizzo down here and Meg. They're gonna tear some knees up this weekend.
Prime time. I had a property in Dover.
I know, right? It's crazy.
It's coming. Oh, you need a tour out? You need a car to get it right?
Yep. And they do need it.
What's that Uber and Lyft looking like this weekend?
Tearing them up, and they coming in from everywhere. They are RVs. They got the tents out there, right? They sleeping on the ground for 3 days.
Hey, they ain't been out in a while, man.
It's raining today, and they're gonna go out there and sleep in the rain. They don't care.
Been there, done that.
It's crazy. So yeah, I think that career growth is very important, but you have to know your marks that you want to meet out of life. And you shouldn't depend on your job for you to grow as an individual. Like you should wait for them to do anything for you, whether it's training, whether it's going back to school and getting your degrees, or taking that promotion, applying for that promotion. I found that you get more feedback from when you don't have the qualifications. Don't just X out of not applying for a job because you don't meet those qualifications. Apply anyway. See what they said. Like I said, you're only going to get but so much no before you get a yes. I think, didn't you share that the other day about the guy that got...
Oh, he went through 97 no's before he got it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He counted every time he got a no.
Mm-hmm.
And until he finally got a yes, and that yes propelled him into a multi-million-dollar company.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Patience. That's another thing. Consistency and patience. Being patient. You know what I'm saying? And identifying red flags, but being patient. Just because someone says no, just because you didn't get that, just because you applied for promotion, you didn't get it the first time, doesn't mean you're not gonna get it the second time. You know what I mean? Or, okay, why I'm not getting the position now? Oh, because of X, Y, and Z. All right, too easy. I'll see you in 3, 6, 9 months to a year.
Absolutely.
And once I've checked off what you said, then what is your
excuse then? Right. That's another thing of not being promoted. I was just talking to Mom about that this morning, because my dad's father always told me the story about how he trained people that got the positions that he should have gotten. And he never tripped about it. He told me he always continued to do his job and do it well. But, for some reason, we deal with, if we don't look a certain way, if our skin tone is not a different color or whatever, if we're not chummy with the people or kissing their behind, then we don't get the promotions that are just due. And I think that comes in the form of patience too, knowing your worth and not tripping over what doesn't happen for you at that time. Because sometimes they promote people to demote people. And sometimes they place people in situations where they know they're not going to do the job and they just want to get them out of there quickly. So yeah, I'll promote you and let you mess up, and then you're going to leave anyway. So that'll X that out. But I think you have to really trust God in the process of being promoted. Like for me, I have a coworker that I trained him and I had degrees. He came in, he didn't have any degrees or experience in my department. And he was promoted to supervisor. I haven't been promoted to supervisor yet. I have the paperwork. I had the experience. I manage people, but am I tripping anymore? Absolutely not. Because I know my value at the company. And at any given time, they can look up on my resume whenever they get ready and say, you know what? Wait a moment. She's done all of this and she's at this level and other people are at this level. Let's think about this. Somebody I know for sure in due time is going to come in and they're going to change the game for me.
Is that you?
Huh?
Is that you?
Is it?
That could be you. Are you putting that bug in that ear? Like, hey, I have X, Y, Z, and I do A, B, and C, and y'all need to consider me for a position or a promotion. You know what I'm saying? That's that. It's something that you said, like not tripping or not being chummy with certain people. You know what I mean? But it's like are you executing a self-fulfilling prophecy? Are you saying to yourself that I'm not ready or I'm not friends with so and so, or I'm not the yes person, or
yes,
am I, I'm not in the circles, or I'm not at the table. You know what I mean? So are you saying that, but actively not putting yourself in that
I had been in the past. I had been that person where I laid back because it was just like, it was a slap in the face for me. Like, okay, you're going to promote him and you're not going to promote me. You're going to give him no award and you're not going to give me anything. So it made me kind of second guess my value. And then when I got to the point where I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. And I think for me, I got to the point where I'm not waiting for you anymore to validate my worth. And, for me, it was too late for them. It's too late at this point to come back and say, you know what? When I worked on that project that I was talking about earlier, and the client came back because it was a night where I had stayed and talked to the client, made sure stuff was straight. And they came back the next day and wrote a nice email. This is what your company offers. You need to thank her basically for hard work because she brings value to your company. And our top manager in the office replied and said, well, two of them replied and said, this is what she's been waiting for. It's long overdue to be acknowledged and valued. And I couldn't even say anything because it was just like, y'all brought me into a meeting. I know I aced that for y'all. And I was waiting for y'all to say, India, we value you. And it was too late.
Recognition. Recognition is so important and it's so key. And it's, it can be the difference between job satisfaction and not having job satisfaction. And it's the difference between someone producing a basic product or a product that exceeds your expectation and your standards.
Yes.
And because in my job, like as a human resource in the military, we are in a thankless job, and the things that we do in helping people and helping the organization, it tends to get overlooked, and they say things like, well, that's your job. My job is human resource, but if I'm doing it well and I'm exceeding the standard or the expectation that you have,
yes,
I'm doing more than my job. And I need to be recognized. And like when I became a supervisor and I had my little small staff of soldiers, when they did things well, I made sure they got recognized.
Yes. I think you have to recognize your great employees, because if you do not, then they check out. They really check out for the bad, because they start to second guess everything that they've done, as if has it been good enough? Why am I not good enough? Am I doing something wrong? And it's just like, if you dealt with that in your life, where say if you had a boyfriend that said, hey, I don't like you anymore because you're not cute, or whatever, or a girlfriend that says that, like, it's similar to that. It's rejection.
Yeah.
So if you're rejected enough, you're just gonna stop doing what they expect you to do. And you're not going to be that employee that goes over and beyond for the company, is what I should say. And then you got to have great employees that want and value projects going well and getting more clients in to be satisfied. You want that. But when you have one bad apple or two or three, and they go along and or even like at one point they label me as a person that, how did they have it? Oh my gosh, Ray. Like I kept going on about it. Like I kept talking about it. Yes, I am going to talk about it, because at the end of the day, I know my value. I know what I bring to this company. And you know what you did was wrong. All the things that you did was wrong. You knew that, hey, if you have her doing a job, it was so bad. Like when one of my coworkers got the Employee of the Year award and they said all the things that he did for this project, that's why he got the award. They had a whole speech about it on the intercom. I was just like, I just knew my name was going to be called because they naming off all these tasks that's being completed. And when they said his name, I walked out of that joint. I said, I'm going to lunch. And if we got Christmas time, I'll see y'all later. I'm not even staying here. I need to leave right now. Me. But it makes you totally second guess yourself. Like, man, like, is it because I'm not white enough? Or I'm a woman? Or I speak my mind? Or because, you know, they feel like they label me as the angry Black woman because I tell them what needs to be done? And it puts a target on us Black women. And I don't think sometimes, you know, we're getting better at addressing that, but we're not always the angry Black woman. Just because they have so many TED Talks about this. Like, you can go, I've been in a meeting where I have pitched the idea and somebody else will come in and say the same thing I just said. And it's like, oh my gosh, yes, Freddie said the right thing. Yes, we love it. But India just said the same thing and y'all didn't love it. The same exact thing. So I you know, it's huge lessons in the workplace that no university prepares you for. Politics of the workplace.
Absolutely. I got to a point where I don't care.
Yeah.
I just said that. I just said that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, or I'm not doing that. Or or my facial expressions will say it way before I'll say it. I've sat in many meetings and someone says something and my face will curl up.
Yeah.
They be like, oh, what's going on? What you got? Something?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, well, X, Y, and Z, and this, Y, and this. And they be like, oh, okay, yeah. And I'll be like, because I know what my facial expressions do not, I can't hide it.
Yeah.
I cannot hide my facial expressions to save my life. So, absolutely. I got to a point where I don't care. You know.
That's why I am at this point. Like, I'm not holding nothing back. I said really nice. Listen, I just asked you to do it this way. Doesn't matter if you're a project manager or not. Like, I'm not doing your job for you. That's just what it is. Now you can take it or leave it, but you need your stuff issued. I asked you to do it the right way. This just happened. I told you this last week, and you come to me and you say, India, did you issue my stuff? I didn't, because I told you last week what to do. Now this is a new week, and you're coming with the same stuff. No, and that's where I say we have to really.
Can't argue with you.
No, I'm not. I love pause. I'm not. I said what I said. And that's that. It's not going to change. But, you know, you deal with the different managers of they push things off on you. Like, it's beneath them. And I think you also have to have great people that keep them in line. If you want a project to run successfully, you need to communicate properly. You need to treat your employees right. You need to make sure that you talk to them correctly and not in a demeaning way, meaning I make 150,000 and you make 50,000 and you're going to do my job for me because I said so. No, honey, it don't work like that. It does not work like that at all. Not with me. You can label me however you want to label me, but I promise you, I had one guy years ago. He had sent something at like 5:00, and this is when I was going home, and I was working from home after I left the job until like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I was late getting home or something like that. Like I may have gotten home like at 7. I opened my computer up, and he was like, "Why did you leave?" It was really like a slave mentality. Like he owned me. Like, I didn't tell you to leave. I'm the slave master, and you do as I say. So that was a huge learning lesson too in corporate America, because I was like, hold on, wait a minute. No, I don't operate like that. And I kindly let them know when I got in there that next day, you have lost your mind. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I'm not the one. Not the one. We're not doing that. But like I said, it's a huge learning lesson, because you have to know how to articulate, and you can't go in there cursing people out and just acting a fool, because they will definitely label you as irate and over the top and this and that. You got to do it. You got to play the game right with them.
Yeah, that's funny, because I got a couple of I remember some emails that I received, and sometimes I don't reply. I'm coming to your office. Hey,
absolutely.
Let me clarify your intent behind that email before I have some words for you. I want to make sure I got the right words for to respond to your email. So if you came how I thought you came, okay, cool. Then we about to have a conversation
in person,
right? And I ran across a couple people where their whole demeanor changed when I walked in. Like, oh, hey,
yeah,
you just sent me. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh no, oh okay.
Because it can't. You know what you sent.
Yeah.
But you're expecting me not to say anything.
Right. Or like I remember this one time this person sent me like I had sent the email about something, and then I sent it to one person, and they replied and included bosses.
Oh.
Right. I was like, oh, okay. Reply all. You invited the bosses in this conversation, so we're going to continue to have the bosses in this conversation.
Yes.
So I replied all, and I gave my rebuttal, and then they replied all, and then I replied all, and then they just replied back to me. It was like, hey, stop, just call me and stop including the boss. You started
this.
You brought in the boss and the boss boss.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that happened to me too, right?
So if you think that I'm gonna don't be on some just reply back to me or just call me. Nah, that's not how you came back in this conversation. Since you want to include everybody, I'm going to include everybody in my rebuttal.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
Now your behaviors change.
Yeah. So it's something, and that's another thing. It needs to be a class in high school for communication. You can't wait until college or training to get the communication class. It needs to be in high school of how to effectively communicate with different people, because our kids are a little different in this generation. And because they're tied to their phone all the time, they may not know how to communicate in person with people. So they need to get that taken care of now, with dealing with different people, how to deal with people with different personalities in the workplace. I think that should be a class, because if you work at McDonald's, Wendy's, wherever, you're always going to have the different people. I wouldn't say crazies, the different people, the unique people the smart aleck people, the people that you just want to pop in their mouth people. Like, it's stuff like that. It's just different levels of, if you catch them on the wrong day, they're going to get smart with you in front of a client or a customer. Like we see it every day at McDonald's or Walmart or wherever. You catch people on a bad day, all hell breaks loose. And it's something that should be taught of how to manage people, because people will go off the deep handle. And sometimes I look like, man, it is not that deep.
Absolutely. It's called emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, in one of my organizations, we had professional development, and we had you know, they taught us about having emotional intelligence, and you know, being able to recognize, you know, that stuff is, you know, it can be key, not just in, you know, daily interaction, but interacting with employees, supervisors, coworkers. You know, having that emotional intelligence is key. It helps you how to talk to people. It helps you how to assist people in their careers. It helps, you know, talk through difficult times, misunderstandings, miscommunication. Yeah, it's key. It's very important.
It is important.
Yeah.
It really is, because you cross lines with emails. You know, it can be sometimes taken out of context. And I know for me, it took me a minute to stop sending emails, because I could tear a keyboard up and you know, it was taken out of context.
I noticed how much and for us, you know, in the military, I've recognized how much people rely on, I'm just gonna shoot you an email. You know what I mean? You know, and I stopped shooting emails. Like sometimes, like if it's email worthy, I'll shoot an email. But you know, like a while ago, I stopped and I was like, I'm gonna go over here and go talk to them. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then I ended up talking to, you know, my counterparts within my staff, you know, and, you know, learning like, hey, you know, why is this, or why is this, or hey, I seen that email. I just come to clarify some stuff on, you know, what you meant in that email. And you know, that strengthened the relationship between me and my counterparts in the staff. And it allowed us to, you know, work better and, you know, have a better understanding of what we need from each other. You know what I mean? And it allowed us to run smooth. And, you know, it alleviated a lot of problems.
Just
getting, and plus it allowed me to get out from behind that desk.
Yes, absolutely.
Allowed me to interact with my coworkers. You know what I mean? And when I need something, you know what I mean? Then they're like, oh, okay.
Yes.
I'll take care of you. And same thing, if they come to me and they need something, all right, I'll take care of it.
I think that's huge, because like I said, we spend a lot of time with our coworkers over the years, probably more so time with our own families.
Sometimes, yeah.
So, you know, I think you have to build those healthy relationships with your coworkers. Sometimes our coworkers know more about us than a lot of other people. So, you know, they're there with us through the most trying times. So I know with my coworkers, you know, two of them that I've sat with for the last 17 years, most of my time, we're really close. We know everything about what's going on in each other's lives, more so things that they shouldn't even know. So, you know, there are confidants, and they will make sure that, you know, we're good on different days. And I think that's one thing that I miss about being in the workplace, is creating those relationships with different people, because, you know, my coworkers, more so men, the great coworkers, they've informed me about different ways of, you know, navigating through corporate America, and being okay with being myself and speaking up for myself. I think you have to have those what do they call it? Champions, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to have those people that will hold your hand through the process and say, it's okay, you know, with whatever you do, I'm going to back you here, and be okay with standing up for yourself, and, you know, creating, like I said, those healthy relationships. It's so important. It's been important for me, in who I am in my career right now.
Absolutely. I've created relationships with people that I still stay in contact with. And to be honest, I've created relationships with people who do not look like me, and who will go to war for me.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and like I will go to war for them. Like I have
Absolutely.
I met a real good coworker, and she was a civilian while I was in Europe. And like we still stay in contact to this day, and like we make plans of like meeting up. And like, you know, and she's a Caucasian lady, little older than me, but like we like, I swear we're like sisters and brothers, like,
yeah.
and like she will go to war. You know, I mean, and that's like, it's amazing the people
that you meet.
When we talk about diversity, like the people that I've interacted with and I've created relationships with, like I have a diverse group of people that I think, you know, once I retire and, you know, we become bigger in this, and we create a, you know, a company. Yes. I have a list of people that I know I can call on and will execute. Yes. And you know what I mean? And, you know, make a company run. You know, if they want to be a part of it. Yes. You know what I mean? So, and I think it's great. You know, it's a mix of family and friends. You know what I mean? Even though we may not talk on a regular basis, we don't talk daily. Yes. You know what I mean? But I know there are people that I can absolutely call on today and be like, they will be there. And they will be there. It's really important. I think, you know, with my job, like I said, it's been a lot of diverse people that have supported me, but in my field, it's not a lot of us. I think we may have like possibly 10 out of 600 people that are Black in my office. So, and out of those 10, or it might not even be 10, it's probably about 3 or 4 Black women. That's it. So we're really limited on if we reach to the left or the right of us, you know, is our people going to really support us? And I think I appreciate having a diverse group support system, because some of those men always remind me to push myself. Like I had one a couple of years ago that told me that I need to go work at a hospital, like as a head of a hospital. And I was just like, we were walking out of work one day and he was like, India, did you apply for that hospital job? And I said, no. He was like, why didn't you? And I didn't even know what to say, because I'm just like, he has more faith in my value and sees my value more than I do. And it kind of threw me off, because I'm just like, oh, wow, like, India, what are you doing? You know, this would be the perfect time to grow. And he said, you know, you should be a CEO of something. And like I said, at the time, I was not paying attention. Not at all. And now I realize what he was saying years later. So it's important to pay attention to the supportive cast around you, because they may be giving you gems that you're not paying attention to. Absolutely. Because we get complacent. And we just like, nah, I'm good right, you know, I'm good right comfortable. Here. Get comfortable. Man, and they be the ones, the champions, like you said, those are you know, I got some champions, and I appreciate them deeply. You know what I mean? And it's people that do not look like us at all.
And that's another thing. Our people, they sometimes have the crabs in a barrel mentality, meaning if they see you get ahead, then it's just like, oh, I can't let them get ahead. And it's just like, I don't get that.
You know what? My understanding, I believe, like, it's just people. It's certain people who think like that, and they feel it's something in them where they feel threatened or they feel less than, and it's their way of lashing, like expressing. They don't know how to express it, but the only way that they've learned to express it is by doing what you said. Like, I need to hate on them. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's tied to a specific race, but but race is always brought up. And at some point, I hope that we stop looking at race and just being like just it's just a group of people who act like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I understand what you're saying though. And I completely
it is a group of people. It's sometimes we, like you said, we need to get out of the mindset that it's our people, but it's generally a group of people. It really is that they're scared if you advance in life, then they're gonna stay the same, or you're gonna get to shine more, and they're not going to get it. But like, if you put your head down and work, be consistent with working, and you don't worry about what the next person doing, looking over here, looking over there, or looking in your rearview mirror, you're straight. You're always gonna be straight. That's where I am in life at this point. Like, I don't really care what other people do at this point, what car you drive, what house you live in, how much money you got in the bank. I don't care. I know what I have. That's all I'm responsible for at the end of the day. So, I think we need to get out of the mindset of competing with one another. We need to compete with ourselves to be better on a daily basis and not worry about what everybody else is doing. Like, when we get up in the morning, the first thing normally what a lot of people do is get on the internet, get on social media. And that drives us for the day. Like, we see people, like this morning I saw, I think Moneybag Yo, somebody gave him 1.5 million in cash. Then you get up and you see that in the morning, it's just like, man, what am I doing wrong? I'm in the wrong circle. That was his birthday gift from people, from Yo Gotti, I want to say. And it's just like, but that's what's in front of us. It's either gonna make you sad or it's gonna make you hustle and be thirsty to get that 1.5. And that's how it is.
Yeah, I agree. But a couple points. I think the reason that we say our people is only, I think it's because it's in human nature, we look to get something that's similar to us. We look to what's similar to us, and that's what's around us, and that's who we tend to confide in and whatever.
Yes.
So that's why when it doesn't work out, we say our people get that that mentality. But we assimilate with similarity. So
yes,
you know what I mean. So it's like, I get that's what I'm saying. But if you like, yes, definitely need to be not why are they getting that, but I need to get to that level. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you see that stuff on social media, which I don't be caring. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But like you say, like, this work, I need that's where the grind is. That's the goal. Gifting someone, that money so they can go and
do what they want to do with it. But I also think, with that being said, I think you have to limit. I know I've totally unfollowed a lot of celebrities because it's just like, I don't like what I'm seeing when I get up in the morning. I've unfollowed, I've unfriended a lot of people because it's just like, I don't want to see your face in the morning. Every morning I get up, I got to see your face on my screen. So no, you have to limit everything is set boundaries on being focused on what you need to focus on. Like right now, we're focused on EYL and Doug and like we're and David. Yeah. So, you know, it's nothing for us to not watch somebody fighting and arguing and whatever, and we go over here and watch David Shands for 45 minutes. Like, I'd rather watch them than to be watching all that other stuff, reality TV. I totally did a total switch. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop and all that mess all the time. The Kardashians and all that. Then I was just like,
nah,
they get on my nerves.
I think I might have watched like 2 or 3 seasons of like Housewives. I don't think I ever watched like Love and Hip Hop. I never watched any of those Love and Hip Hops. No, I have not watched any of those Love and Hip Hops.
Yeah.
I think not like I'm watching a full season. I might have watched like one episode or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like I started watching Housewives. I was like, none of y'all, it's like one out of 7 of y'all is actually married.
Yeah. So what are we doing?
And y'all ain't heard doing all this ridiculous stuff. Y'all extra. I'm not watching this no more. I was watching Love and Hip Hop, and then like that was back when like Stevie J and Johnson over there. I'm like, what is this? Why? I'm not watching this no more. This is ridiculous. Just like I watched I didn't even finish the first series of Power. I didn't finish that last half, the second part of that season, and I haven't watched any other Power.
No, I haven't either.
I'm like, I'm tired of watching black people on TV selling drugs and shooting each other and getting arrested.
Your mindset.
I don't want to watch that no more. And people like, hey, you watch the new Power book, or you watching Raising Cane's? No, I'm not watching it. I don't want to watch that. I'm good with that. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch Love and Hip Hop. I don't want to watch Nobody's Love for You or none of that. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that. You know what I'm watching?
David Shands.
I'm watching David Shands. And I watch anime. That's what I watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, like I'm not watching none of that reality TV. I don't watch none of that. I don't watch none of that. I don't Bear Grylls and his I don't watch none of that. First of all, I don't know how Bear Grylls is out here. That's the guy that they be dropping off in the middle of nowhere, and he's supposed to get back to civilization, and he be eating bugs and finding rare plants and stuff.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Yeah, but I'm watching. I'm kind of like watching it, and then I'm like, how are you out in the middle of nowhere and you're supposed to be living off of
bugs?
You're supposed to live off the ground, like you're supposed to live off the environment. But you got a whole camera crew. Yeah, no, that's not real. I know the camera crew ain't out there eating bugs with you.
You better know it.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I get it. Man, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching that. It's
not real. It's scripted. It is so scripted. And I knew when it was scripted when we went down to drop Jay off. And we went to Candy's restaurant, and they sat in their car for like an hour outside, and the cameras are taping them sitting in the car. And it's just like, is it really scripted like that? Like, but it is. Like, they set scenes up. They orchestrate all of this mess to get us to watch it. Like they said, they orchestrate the fights, the arguments. They go back and tape everything to get you all worked up again until you actually fight. So no, I really don't want to waste my time. I rather do other things, and sleep is very important for me. I know I used to sit up and I used to write it on my calendar. Hey, Love and Hip Hop is starting on this day at this time. Tune in. And I haven't done that probably in the last 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
Man.
Yeah. So, I mean, it takes over everything for you. But if you get in the right mindset of wanting change, you don't really have time for that.
You know, your mindset change, your priorities change. The content that you consume changes. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't watch none of that stuff. But I do watch the Wu Saga though.
I haven't seen that either.
Wu-Tang? Oh yeah, that's a documentary. It's a scripted TV show, but
is that on Hulu?
yes.
I don't have Hulu.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched it yet.
I might have to create your account so you can watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's on its third season, second season.
Yeah, I saw they came out with a new season here recently, but I just haven't had the opportunity to sit down and binge watch it. So yeah. I guess I need to if I'm a real fan. Yeah.
All right. I think we got off topic.
What you say?
I think we can go ahead and close. I think we can shot like 2 episodes tonight.
I know, right?
Might do a part 1, part 2 tonight on this one.
Right?
Man,
you gonna close it out?
Hey, it sounds like you just did.
Yeah. This has been a great experience again to talk about career growth and personal growth and taking the leap. It will all work out at the end, I think, if you put your mind to it and continue to be consistent. Absolutely. Entrepreneurs, hold on. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's tough, but it's not that bad.
It's not at all. But what I'm going to talk to my friend, and I tagged you and I said, hey, this would be a good topic.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was good.
Right. And I'm going to talk to my friend and see if they're willing to come on and have a conversation.
Uh-huh.
And because I think that's deep, and I think it'll help, expand my mind and my way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that particular part, but I think that whole conversation. I think a whole conversation would be
about all the lines or all the topics that they were talking about.
I think a couple of questions.
One of them it's real sticky for me. I want to discuss that. About personal experience.
Ooh. I'm waiting.
It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real good. I don't think I ever talked to you about it.
Really?
So we'll wait. I'm pretty sure I haven't talked to you about it, because only a few people that I told, look, if this happens, I'm gonna need you to do this. I know you weren't one of those people at that time, because you would have totally talked me out of it. So yeah. In true Tosin fashion. Thank God for Mary J. Blige. That's all I can say. Because she saved souls. I'm telling you. And sensitive.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she did.
Yeah.
And oh man, because I remember she was on the Breakfast Club, and she was saying how it never really hit her how the impact that she had over her career. You know what I mean? And how she downplayed
yes
the impact that she had on so many people. You got a whole anyway.
That's another podcast session that I want to do with Jay, because she is relating in her book to My Life, the My Life album. And that's big because she didn't grow up on a My Life album. I did. But she didn't. So, Mary J. Blige really is a legend in my book. Now, the tickets went on sale for November 20th, and I went yesterday, and it hurt my heart. $450 a ticket. $450 a ticket. That's somebody's car payment.
Hey.
So I might have to slide into Mary's DMs and say, I've been a lifelong fan. Listen, you helped me save souls out here. I think I should be rewarded.
Oh,
crazy. But
help me.
yes, Mary, I can't pay you $450. You ain't D Nice. And thank God for D Nice too, because he really helped us out in the pandemic. Yeah, he really did, because it was some times where, you stuck in the house, you don't know what to do, and he put on that music and got it playing. So, they deserve it. They really do deserve the $450. I just don't have it right now.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.